Sliced Apples podcast with Alex and David.
This might be the game that you get a little upset at me. This might be the game you get a little upset at me. I'm going to let you go first because I want to hear what you have to say about this game, because this game is I took some time with this one. I watched I watched the highlights in 2x speed of both of the games, the matchups this regular season. Come on, bro. Am I really going to sit there and watch 8 hours of football? I mean, come on. I mean, we do a podcast, but I don't work for ESPN. Let's be honest. So I'm really interested in this one. I think this one's going to be a much better game than the early window.
Well, yes, because first of all, these are divisional rivals. Already faced each other twice this season, so it's third time. First time, San Francisco beat the Rams 31-10, not even close. And then at the end of the season, last week of the season, San Francisco won 27-24 in overtime, a much closer game. This 49ers team is just a weird team because they're just getting by. They're just getting by, doing their thing. But the thing is, and if this is the NFL, you don't just get by, quote unquote, get by. You have to be well prepared, mentally tough, et cetera, et cetera. And the thing is, we seem to forget, like, the 49ers, they were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. They know what it takes to get to the Super Bowl. And they were one Jimmy Garoppolo throw away for probably knowing what it takes to win a Super Bowl. And so I feel like that is a big factor. It plays a big factor in this game. But the Rams just have so much firepower. It's ridiculous. And I know they're hungry. They're hungry. You got Matthew Stafford. This is the closest he's ever getting to tasting some cat. Like, he is there. He is just literally so close. And I don't feel bad for this man if it goes downhill for them. Also, sure, they want to play in their home stadium, which is weird because for 50+ years or whatever in the NFL, that never happened. And then Tampa Bay did it last year. Now the Rams are on the verge of doing it again this year for back-to-back years. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird how that works. But looking at everything, I think ultimately the Rams are at home. They don't want to leave home. They got the firepower. San Francisco, I mean, they know the Rams very well. They know each other very well. And it's hard to beat one team. In the NFL, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. So I'm going to have to go with the Rams.
So you said it's hard to beat a team 3 times in one season, but how about this? The 49ers have won the last 6 matchups consecutively. The last time the Rams beat the 49ers was in 2018, the last game of the regular season. So that's...
I mean, but before this season, did it really count? Every season's a new season.
That's true.
Last year, the Rams were just like, it was Jared Goff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, they got to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. And, I mean, to your point, to your credit, the first matchup of this season between them, the 31-10 game, first game with OBJ, so clearly was getting his footing. Cam Akers was also not in that game. So, and Von Miller, I don't believe, was playing either. Actually, he was, but I think it was also his first game, if not second, maybe.
Well, after Cam Akers, Butterfingers last week. I don't know if it was a good, if that's even a good point to make that. Oh, Cam Akers wasn't playing. Shit, maybe they won 45-10. Who knows?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Cam Akers.
Cam Akers pretty good. I mean, he did have a bad fumble last week. I'll give you that.
2 bad fumbles.
But in that matchup, Stafford threw a bad pick and then a pick six in that game. That's what got them down like 17-0 or whatever it was in the first half. I think it was 14 something. I think it was 14-0 in the first quarter. And Jimmy just kind of game managed, which is what Jimmy G does. G stands for game manager. That's what he is. I'm serious. Everybody talks about him being unclutch and what do they call him? Jimmy Gouge or some shit like that. But he's Jimmy game manager. That's what he is. And they just inflicted their will through Deebo Samuel, through Elijah Mitchell, through their defense. Got no problem with Jimmy game manager. Love Jimmy game manager. Man doesn't make too many mistakes. He does make quite a few, but he doesn't make too many. He doesn't force a lot of things like I believe Stafford does more. I believe Stafford forces more mistakes. And we saw that in that game. And then we also saw it in the second matchup, the Week 18 game, which, funny enough, San Francisco needed to win the game against the Rams to get in the playoffs. And the 49ers are are the Rams' kryptonite. As I mentioned, 6 consecutive meetings. 49ers have won the last 6, which if you were to tell me that, I wouldn't believe you because of all the Jimmy game manager slander that we're getting. But that game, dude, they went down 17-0 or 17-3 in the half. Came out the second half. And Deebo Samuel, man, we've been watching this guy. I'm going to say something that might be really, really poorly received. I think Deebo Samuel has the potential or is possibly already the best NFL player in the league. I mean, the most valuable player to his team. Watching him in that second half, he came out and he caught a touchdown pass, ran like 20 yards after the catch, and then he threw the second one to put them back in the game. So it's like 17-14. And Deebo threw and caught one of them. So it doesn't really matter if they're losing because they just give it to Deebo and Deebo figures it out. And comparing Deebo and then the other side, you have Cooper Kupp, who Cooper Kupp is just an animal. I've wrote down some ridiculous things for you. So he obviously had almost over 1,900 yards on the season, which is obscene. And then 16 total touchdowns. Catching, right? No, he had no rushing touchdowns. So total touchdowns, that's more than Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Daniel Jones. Which, not saying a lot, but still, it's impressive that those quarterbacks play most season, all of the season, if not most season, and Cooper Kupp still has more touchdowns than them, and they touch the ball every play. And he tied with Lamar Jackson, Tua Tagovailoa, and Jalen Hurts. Now, I know Lamar didn't play a lot, but hey, that's still pretty impressive, 16 touchdowns. On the other side, Deebo is he has the most rushing yards ever by a wide receiver with over 1,000 passing yards. So he has 1,400 receiving yards and almost 400 rushing yards. I mean, he's insane. He is, dude. I was looking up stats trying to see who he could compare to. They're comparing him to Christian McCaffrey, like on rushing yards purposes and things like that. And getting into that area where it's like, okay, he's never going to have 1,000 rushing yards because he's a wide receiver. But the fact that he's being like in the same conversation just based on the fact that he runs the ball so much as Christian McCaffrey is pretty damn impressive. And he has more rushing touchdowns than he does receiving touchdowns this year. Again, give the ball to Deebo. He'll handle it. Elijah Mitchell is questionable for this game. We know San Francisco to have a deep running back. I think they'll come out flat, man. That's what they do. The 49ers come out flat. They get down. We saw that in the Week 18 matchup. It's just going to be a matter of Jimmy, game manager, making sure he stays cool, doesn't make too many mistakes. Another quick stat for you. Jimmy's thrown 12 interceptions this year. Stafford's thrown 17. Now, Stafford has attempted to throw the ball a lot more than Jimmy G. But my point is, with that stat, Jimmy game manager may have blown it in the Super Bowl, might have overthrown or definitely did overthrow Emmanuel Sanders. We've seen him throw some bad picks. We've seen him do X, Y, and Z when it comes to just mistakes. But I don't get this slander, man, of Jimmy G not being clutch. This man is cold as ice when it comes to the end of the game. He does not give a shit what's going on. And if you don't believe me, watch Week 18. Has to get your team in the playoffs. The organization is pushing you out the door for your replacement. And he goes out there down 17-0 in the second half. And I don't care if he doesn't throw for 400 yards or whatever. That's not his game. He's Jimmy game manager. But he gets his team his win or the win. And you mentioned it just feels like they're sliding by. And it's true, man. It just feels like for whatever reason, they're not supposed to win, but they just keep winning. And so you got to give credit where credit's due. I think that's in part Kyle Shanahan, because Kyle Shanahan is, like you said, been here before. Jimmy G also, he's just a winner, man. He may make bad mistakes. He may not be a quote unquote franchise quarterback. He can't put the team on his back and carry you to the Super Bowl, but he can certainly game manage and make the right decisions. And when it comes to clutch time, he's not going to lose you the game in clutch time. So,
Well,
we
know why people say he's not clutch, man. Come on.
See, this is where we enter into that territory of like, okay, yes, he's made mistakes. And if you were to compare him to the greats, the clutch greats, he's not even in that conversation. However, as far as like the mid to upper tier quarterbacks in this league, I would say he's probably the most clutch out of those. In that circumstance, okay, in this circumstance, there's 2 minutes left. You got to drive down the field and score. Even after last week, I'm still going to pick Jimmy G over Matt Stafford, because last week, it wasn't Matt Stafford, it was Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp made those plays, and you know he did.
Dude, it was Todd Bowles with his all-out zero blitz.
Fair enough.
Slot blitz.
Fair enough.
That's what it was.
In the Week 18 matchup, Jimmy G drove down the field in overtime, couldn't get in the end zone, kicked a field goal. They had 2.5, 3 minutes left. Matthew Stafford's driving down the field. He throws a pick. Those are the moments that, hey, man, you just got to get down the field and get a field goal or get as close to their end zone as you can, just to see if you can come up with some points and tie the game. And you throw a pick, like you make a mistake like that. That's not allowed. Now, the team, the Rams, better team, 100%. Like you look at the depth chart, it's like looking at an A+ depth chart and an A- depth chart. Like they're your clear cut, number 2 receiver, OBJ to Brandon Ayuk. I'd take OBJ, honestly. Sorry. Just going to happen. Defensive line, Joey Bosa or
Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa. That's why I paused. I thought I said I got it mixed up. Aaron Donald, Von Miller. I mean, you're taking the Rams defensive line.
Nick Bosa's on
49ers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad. I got it mixed up. I want to take the Rams this game. I truly do. Like, I really believe that the Rams should win this game. I just want to go down with the Jimmy game managership, dude. I want to sit on the ship as it sinks in the deep dark ocean. And if we make it to shore somehow and we're in the Super Bowl, I want to be the one that says, yeah, I called that shit. So I'm gonna stick with the 49ers because they give me just enough hope to believe that there is a chance to win this game. I think it's gonna ride on the backs of Debo. It's gonna ride the backs on that number 3 defense in the NFL, and it's gonna ride on the back of Jimmy just not making a mistake when we know Matt Stafford's gonna make a mistake, because he's gonna make a mistake. Matt Stafford's gonna make a mistake, and they're gonna and you just got to capitalize on it. That's what you got to do. So
I think one of the big things too is if the 49ers pull this game off, like you said, 49ers have won 6 in a row in this series. This will be 7. And a conference championship game. Kyle Shanahan. Sean McVay is Kyle Shanahan's bitch at that point. Like, it is what it is. I mean, some people, they're just better than you. Like, and you just got to face the fact that even no matter how great you were during the time of your greatness, there was just somebody better.
Yeah.
And that's if the 49ers pull this off, that's how I would feel about that situation. But Alejandro, what are your picks for both of the games? You're on mute, buddy. Jeez. It literally
it's
has
still on mute. There you
go. Visible.
It kept going off and on. My bad. So you're gonna hate me, but I think the Chiefs are gonna take it.
Of course.
They just got too many weapons, man. And I know you hate Patrick Mahomes starting to become like Brady, where like he's winning so much that you hate him, and then his family's like super annoying. So
I love Brady.
The more he succeeds, the more you hate him. So, but I think they're going to take it. I think it's going to be a 35-21 game. Kansas City.
Oh, wow.
So that's mine on Kansas City. And this is fun fact. Matthew Stafford, whenever he was with the Lions, he has 74 wins, and it was 38 of them were game-winning drives. So Matthew Stafford has the highest game-winning percentage on those. So Matthew Stafford is pretty
clutch. Okay.
Hold on.
But the thing is,
I don't know. That stat might be a little skewed,
because it's the
Is he
Lions.
clutch? I don't know. You could use that stat and make an argument if he's clutch. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
but I mean, you wouldn't be surprised if you throw some fucking six to lose the game too, though. So, but
Yeah.
I'm going with the 49ers. I'm going with the 49ers. I just think, man, I think coaches do play a big part in that. And beating them 6 times, that has a big thing to do. Game planning stuff. Maybe he just has the answers for the Rams.
It just seemed like in their. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it seemed like in their last matchup, week 18, like to be up 17 points and then just to slowly but surely just lose that and go into overtime and lose that. It just. Do you blame the coach? Like, do you blame the players? There's somebody in that organization, somebody on that field that did something wrong. So
it's definitely. I mean, the first thing you do is point the fingers at the coach. I mean, look at Kevin Sumlin at A&M. We kept blowing leads like a motherfucker, and got him out, got Jimbo in, and that kind of turned around. Not saying it, he was the perfect solution. We're winning every single game now, but you can definitely tell the difference.
Yeah.
In a well-coached team versus a half-ass coached team.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see because they will get up early. Like I said, I think the 49ers are going to come out flat. Them playing with the lead with Cam Akers will be interesting because they are very, very, very pass-heavy. So seeing how they game manage or time manage throughout the lead to see if they can come out on top. Hopefully it'll be the difference in the coaching there.
Yeah.
Alejandro, though, anything else?
No,
That's it? 49ers?
I need to get my score prediction. I think it's going to be 24.
24 and what? I missed it.
21. 24, 21.
Okay, so right around the spread. 3.5 points, over under 45.5.
I think 21-17.
21-17. So what does that get us to? That gets us to 38. That's pretty under. I like 21-24. I think right at the score. I think 21-24, 49ers, yeah. I like that with the field goal at the very end.
Yeah. That's it.
That's a good one.
Right there.
Look at that. Yeah, I hate to say it, but if the Rams win and the Chiefs win, we're going to get Jax Mahomes porking in SoFi Stadium on Super Bowl Sunday. And it's just going to hopefully piss everybody off enough to maybe get them off the internet. Who knows? God knows. Maybe Brittany will spray some more champagne on people when it's like 20 degrees outside. Why does everybody blame me? I don't get it. Enjoy the weekend, people. Sliced Apples Pod, Sliced Apples Podcast.